So I've wanted to build a clothing brand for a while now, and honestly, I struggle for reasons that are sort of stupid. First of all, fulfillment makes me nervous for some reason, like getting an order packaged, shipped off more specifically, and to the customer. Like I feel like that process, um, it always seems daunting to me, but it's no excuse not to start. Second, fucked up. I hadn't built a email list out of social media. Most of my brands, they have a lot of followers, 2.9 million, 1.3 million, 100,000, 79,000 for my personal, but I haven't really done a good job building that data elsewhere. And so when you go to social media and you try to release some clothing drop and you haven't done that before, you're gonna get nerfed by the platform in selling your product. For example, my last drop with Culture, and we did about $5,000 worth of sales, but because I hadn't really gained any subscriber list or SMS, we didn't really maximize to the full potential we could have, because all of the posts that we did, they got dragged down, they didn't get any attention. And so when it came to drop day, it only reached about 5% of our actual followers, and that sucks. And moving forward, if I'm going to do stuff, especially recurring things, I want to make sure that people know and that I have control of that. So what we're going to do is we're going to design two collections. One is going to be for Best Celebrations. The other is going to be for Culture on its next 200K drop, as I push momentum there a little bit more. And yeah, looking forward to showing you guys the process and how I'm thinking about mood boarding it and kind of storytelling this whole experience. My dog's running off. Lenny, hey, you want a cookie? I'll be right back. Okay, so we're in Figma right now. I'm not going to build out anything too crazy because I don't want to confuse you and stop you from actually getting shit done. But what I want to do here, I've dropped in a few examples just to show you before we dive into how I'm going to pull this inspiration. But what we want to do is create some comps that are going to help us get to our own unique style. And this is going to be our own unique quotes, text placement, maybe some subtleties as far as little hits we put here and there. But we want to have a general idea of what looks good. For example, knowing that a side hit on a hat looks pretty clean from this angle, mixed with two different fonts. We have this kind of standard blocky one. I don't even know what you call that. It's like Inter or Gelix. And then you have sort of a serif that brings that elegance into play. That looks good. You have some distressing on this hat here. And then you go to something more simple where it's just 3 words on a hat and looks clean, something I would probably wear. But the main thing I want to go for with at Culture is not over engineering. I think that a lot of times clothing with too much going on can overwhelm me, and I don't ever want to wear it. Like, you give me a graphic tee with it blasting on the front, I don't ever want to wear that stuff. And so I want to build something that is easy to pick up, is clean enough to go out to a nice dinner, whatever it might be, but also stops people and says, hey, where'd you get that? So the first step I'm going to do is I'm going to go into Pinterest and just try to find some inspiration. So we could go Emilienne Dor, a brand I really love, and start looking for a collection piece that maybe stands out. So I would say like this. So clean. Obviously not going to design something like this right out the gate, but what we're really looking for is those recommended options right here. And so trying to figure out what direction we want to go to and just put together a Figma board full of a bunch of different things. So for this, it's we're gonna look for like this is super clean. I mean, something I would most likely wear. I'm just gonna add it in there so we have it for later, and just keep scrolling and enjoy this process a little bit, right? Like, you get to see what stands out to you so that when you go and you make your own stuff, that you're making something that has been designed by some of the world's best people. And so just have fun with it, get inspired, and then we'll go into Photoshop and start mocking up our own versions. So I'm gonna spend about an hour doing this, and I'll come back in the next video with some of the inspiration I pulled together for this first collection. But first step for you guys is, if you're following along through this journey, is build a Figma board. Build a Figma board. Go into Pinterest or Instagram and start saving a few collections and placing them in. And then the next step will be kind of creating our brand identity through that and making unique designs. So good luck. Let me know how it goes, and I will see you in the next one.